All right, what's up, college football fans? Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and tonight we're going to get our first look at least on the channel, of a couple of teams from the all-time great set, which will come with the base version of Glory Days College Football, which is set to be released, targeted for this weekend. The files have been sent to Joe. And again, as I've mentioned in a previous video, Joe going through some health issues now, and that is the main priority. Obviously, his health is far more important than any game. So the files are there, and when Joe gets around to uploading them, they will be released. And again, this is a PDF only release to start. I've explained the reasons for that in a couple of previous videos, most notably the video going through the Excel helper, which you see on the screen, as well as the two teams we'll be playing today. So check that video out, and also for instructions on how to use the Excel helper, it's also on that video. We're just going to get right into gameplay here. And a couple of things about the all-time great set. 1945 Army is the earliest team, all the way up to 2019 LSU. And the teams are rated in a neutralized format because obviously, just using this matchup as an example, 1945 Army is not going to hang with 1980 Georgia or 2019 LSU or any of the other modern teams. That's just reality. It's the way it is. But the purpose to me of having an all-time great team set is, what if everything was on an equal playing field and ratings were neutralized to allow the teams to compete? And that's how this set is rated. So I guess a little bit of a just staying ahead of the 1945 Army could not compete with current modern teams. We know that. It's just for fun. So let's get into the game. Army will get the opening kickoff, and we'll be using the hybrid method. And also, there's a previous video that explains all three gameplay methods: play-by-play, hybrid, and quick play. Hybrid is the base version of the game, and it's the way the game was meant to be played. The other two are options for slower or quicker play, depending on your preference. The Excel helper works in all variations of the game, and it's used to compile individual stats. You do not have to use it if you don't want to keep stats. And the example of that I used, if you're playing, say, a conference replay, Big 12, and you're going to play TCU or whoever, and you want to simulate the other conference games, that would be an instance where you could use quick play to get scores and not worry about stats, and then use a different method to simulate TCU's games. So hybrid play, the first portion of the drive is simulated, and then if the drive gets into plus territory, we would then jump into play-by-play mode. And again, that's also explained in that video. So we're going to get into it, and Army, like I said, will be receiving the kickoff. And Georgia, their kickoff team is a C, and that's going to be a touchback. So Army's going to take over on their own 25-yard line for their first drive. And we'll get into the simulated portion. Simulated drive ratings, and the drive chart is off screen. So I'll just talk you through that. Army is going to get a +1 on their offensive drives. Georgia will get a -1, and the ratings will change, of course, in play-by-play, which when we get to, we'll demonstrate that. So basically, 31 to 89 is good for Army in terms of a successful drive, and their first drive is going to be 25, and that is not going to be a successful drive. They're going to go 3 plays, 5 yards, and be forced to punt. And this will be a very much ground-oriented game, and Army and Navy, or Army and Georgia, sorry, will both get 9 drives in this game due to the amount of time they run the ball, and of course the possession, or the time of possession that bleeds off the clock. All right, so Army now set to punt, and their punting is a B. And no penalty there. 9B on the punt, and that's going to be a 43-yarder, a potential block. 92 is the roll, and Georgia's block rating down here on the card is only a 99, so there is no block. Punt is away. And that is going to go down to the Georgia 27 and a 2 on the return. Georgia on punt return is a D. 2D on the punt return is going to be a fair catch. Georgia is starting their first possession on their own 27. And for Georgia to have a successful drive, they are going to need to roll 35 to 89. So here we go on that. And 94, that's up in danger territory. That's a potential interception. And interception rating for Georgia, you see here, is 1 to 19. That is not good. No adjustment from Army. And the result is, off the interception chart, a 9. Is 3 plays, 7 yards. And if the interception does not occur, it will be a punt. Now, with the adjustments, only a 20 will save Georgia at this point, as Blue had a high percentage of interceptions, and that's going to be intercepted at the 34. And interception returned for Army, as both teams struggling out of the gate here. Interception returned for Army, a 5, and we're going to the team chart. You see here, interception returns team specific. So we'll roll the D10 again, and a 9. That's going to be a 22-yard return. And that's going to get it all the way down to the 12-yard line. So Army will go straight into play-by-play mode, 1st and 10. And we'll reference that starting position here, 12 plus, meaning it is in Georgia territory. And nothing will be filled in on the simulated drive. Since we are in plus territory, we'll go straight to play-by-play mode. So Army 1st and 10, and again, run heavy, 8 or less, it's going to be a run. It's a 5, it will be a run. 32, and here we'll look at the line control results. So 32 is going to be in the stalemate category right here. And so roll of 6, and the ball carrier on this first carry is going to be Rowan. So not Doc Blanchard or Davis, who are the 2 premier carriers. All right, so Rowan on this, and Rowan's, again, with the stalemate category, you look at the ball carrier's run adjustment, which is no adjustment here for Rowan. So whatever's in that category, and a roll of 6. On the stalemate column, it's going to be a 3-yard gain. So that gets it down to the 9, 2nd down and 7. And we'll give Rowan a carry, 3 yards, and 2nd down for the Black Knights. It's going to be yet another run play. And 43 this time is going to be again in the stalemate column, and Rowan again is the ball carrier, 0. And 0 in the stalemate column is going to be a 5-yard gain. So Army. I was in the Army. I have a son in the Navy. So Army trying to distract Georgia here by not giving it the ball to their 2 bell cows, Davis and Blanchard. And here we go. 3rd down and 2 from the Georgia 4-yard line. And of course, that's going to be a run. 11, that would be great. That would come out of the +2 category. But you see here this yellow highlight. 3rd and short. Defense is going to be stacking the box, which makes this from the 2-star to the 1-star. Still a very good result for Navy, and that is going to be a big play. 15 for the ball carrier, and once again they go away from the 2 big guns. Now, 1 second here, I'm putting this in the wrong place. All right, that's going to be Stewart, and we don't even need to do the roll because on the big play chart, all the gains are 11 or more, so that will be a 4-yard touchdown run for Stewart. And Army, on the second and final possession for them of the first quarter, is off to a 6-0 lead, capitalizing on that turnover. Extra point 0 to 86, and that is no good, so it is 6-0. So Georgia now will receive the kickoff, and touchdowns again you want to mark here on the drive, on the drive column. And that carries over to the individual stat column as well. So Army up 6-0, and I think I gave Georgia that touchdown inadvertently. Oh, no, I didn't. All right, so Army will kick off now. This will be the final drive of the first quarter. And Army on the kickoff in 8. Their kickoff team is an C. So 8C, that is down to the 5-yard line, and Georgia on the return. Kickoff return for Georgia is a B for B, and that is going to be a 36-yard return. So all the way up to the 41-yard line. Great field position for the Bulldogs' second drive of the day. And you'll see when we get to the end of the game, the Excel helper, of course, distributes the stats individually for the players with some minor tweaking, which is also demonstrated, but we'll show you here as well. So here we go. Successful drive for the Bulldogs, and 62 is going to be 15. And 15, balls between the 36 and 50. It's going to be 3 plays, 24 yards, and it will be an automatic first down, so you do not need to check the down and distance situation here for the Bulldogs. That's 1st and 10 now to the 35, and we will jump into play-by-play now for Georgia, led, of course, by Herschel Walker. And they would be wise to feed Walker here to get back into the game, and it is indeed going to be a run. 44, we will have a potential penalty. We'll come back to check that. Ball carrier on this is going to be Ballou, and 44 is going to come out of the stalemate column. So Ballou, you see here in the stalemate column, has an adjustment of -3, which is not good. And a 4 on the white D10 is a 4-yard gain, so that's going to be a 1-yard gain for Blue. First, we will check the penalty, and 1 to 8 is a penalty, and it is indeed an 8. So the Bulldogs, 13 is going to be a holding penalty, and Army is going to accept that. So back to the 45, it's going to be 1st and 20 now for Georgia, and Army has their eye on an upset here against the Bulldogs, and first down, they're going to run it again, try and catch Army sleeping. 43 is coming out of the stalemate column, and 15, the ball carrier, is going to be Norris, and he gets a +2. So 3 in the stalemate column here is a 4-yard gain, turn it into a 6-yard gain. So Norris with his first carry of the game, and that is going to be a 2nd down and 14 as that gets it down to the 39-yard line. And Georgia playing it conservatively, they're going to stick on the ground. It's going to be a +2. A 2-star result, which is going to be a big play 1, and we have that potential penalty due to doubles on the 2d6 roll again. 16, the ball carrier on this will be Norris once again. So first we will roll for the big play result. Big play 1, you come off of this column right here. And 5, and that is going to be a 15-yard gain and a potential fumble. So we have a lot going on here. First we will resolve the fumble, then we'll check on the penalty. So fumble for the Bulldogs, 1 to 8 is their standard. The adjustment by Army is -1. 1 to 7, they do not fumble the ball. Now we need to check on the penalty. Again, 1 to 8 and 16, no penalty. So Georgia dodges a couple of bullets there. It's going to be 1st and 10 down to the 24-yard line as Womack, or Norris, I should say, with the 6-yard run. And still looking for Herschel Walker to get his first touch in this one. 6 is going to be another run call, and this time Walker will get the carry. So 32 for Herschel running the ball, and that is going to be a 1-star result, roll of 2. And that's a 5-yard gain for Herschel. So 2nd down and 5, and now Georgia looking to get back into this game and tie things up or take the lead with a successful extra point. 2nd down. And they're going to stick on the ground a 20, and they're mixing it up. Stewart will be the ball carrier for the Bulldogs. 62, not a good result for the Bulldogs there. That's going to go over to Army's column, and it is going to be on their defensive plus chart. A roll of 9, and that is going to be a stuff. All right, rolling on Georgia's stuff column here, a 4 is going to be a -1-yard gain. And that's going to set it at 3rd and 6, back from the 20. Army now will be expecting a long pass, so they will get that advantage once again if Georgia rolls a 9. We'll see what the play call is. And 1, they're going to try and catch Army off guard. It's going to be a run play, and Georgia will get an advantage on that. So that will be a +1 boost for the result. 52, and 52 normally would be a defensive plus. Instead, will come out of the stalemate column, and the ball carrier is Walker. And once again, out of the stalemate column, I know I'm going through a lot, but I want to make sure I touch on everything every time. Walker will get a +2 result. So roll of 8. And that is going to be a 2-yard gain. +2 is 4. And it's going to be a 4th down and 2 from the 16. And we have our first decision of the day. And Georgia has decided they're going to go for it. So again, it comes out of the 3rd and 1 to 2 column. 3rd down and 2. Georgia runs the ball every time, and Army's going to get an advantage, so they need a low roll. Of course, it is going to be a run. Walker, the ball carrier, 26. 26 would be a 1-star. It takes it to stalemate. So Walker, just with his yardage adjustment, is going to get it done there. But it's going to be 4-yard gain +2 for 6. And a possible fumble, though. So Georgia early on having issues controlling or taking care of the ball, 7 or less, and they hold on to it. So that's going to make it a 1st and goal as Walker goes for 6 yards. And on the other parts of the score sheet, I've explained what you need to fill in on these in the tutorial for the score sheet, so that's why I did not go over that, but that's all done. 1st and goal from the 9, from 10, sorry. All right, 1st and goal, going to be a running play. Georgia sticking to what they do best. Another potential penalty, however, and Herschel Walker once again is the ball carrier. 22 will be a +1 result, roll of 1, and that's going to be a 4-yard gain. So penalty 8 or less and no penalty. 4-yard gain for Walker down to the 6. So the Bulldogs riding Georgia or Walker early in this one. In play-by-play mode, he's got 19 yards on 4 carries. 2nd down and goal. It's going to be yet another run play. 32 is the result. That will be a 1-star result. Walker the ball carrier and a 5. And that is only going to be a 2-yard gain for Herschel. So 3rd down and 4 from the 4. play call comes out of this column here. 0 to 6 will be another run. Georgia, a very run-heavy offense. They kept it on the ground 78% of the time. And they're going to stay true to that. Another run. And this time, though, the ball carrier is going to be Blue. And lucky for the Bulldogs, is coming out of the two-star category, so Blue's adjustment will not come into play. And a roll of 8, 5-yard gain, and Blue takes it in for the touchdown. He'll get credit for a 4-yard touchdown run, and we are tied as the first quarter comes to an end. All right, Georgia looking to take the lead. And 0 to 97 for them. That kick is up and comfortably good. First quarter is over, and it is Georgia 7, the Black Knights of Army 6. All right, so splitting up the drives, Army will get 3 drives in the second quarter, and Georgia 2. And as that turns over into the second half, Georgia will get 3 in the fourth quarter. And 2 in the third. Army will get 2 in both quarters. All right, here goes the kickoff for the Bulldogs and AC. All right, 8C, that's going to be down to the 5-yard line, and an opportunity for a return for Army. And Army's kickoff return is an A. So 8A, and that is going to be a 24-yard return. So Army starts their first drive of the second quarter on their own 29. All right, 46 plus 1, that will be a successful drive. And from the 29-yard line, roll of 2 on the 2D20. That's 7 plays, 44 yards. So Army grinding it out. And that's going to be down to the 27-yard line. And down and distance situation, roll of 5. Georgia's drive defense is a 10. And again, the 5 is on the 2D6. So that is going to make it 3rd down and 6 for our down and distance situation for the Black Knights. All right, 3rd and 6, and it's going to be 0 to 6. Army will still run the ball, and they are going to stick on the ground. Possible penalty 66 is bad, even with the advantage they get there. So 66, that will be a defensive plus result. And Georgia roll of 5. You see here that is a 2-yard gain. So that's going to make it 4th down and 4. Let's see if there is a penalty on Army. 1 to 7, and there is indeed a penalty on the Black Knights. Deuces, that will be a false start. And 4th and 4. Georgia's going to decline that and make them kick a field goal or attempt a field goal. And ball carrier on that once again with Stewart. So Blanchard and Blanchard and Davis still looking for their first carries, and that's Glenn Davis, Doc Blanchard. So field goal time for the Black Knights. And from the 25-yard line, this will be a 42-yard field goal. It is 0 to 52. Or, I'm sorry, that's Georgia I'm looking at. 42-yard field goal. Ooh, 0 to 12. They're going to try it, and kick is up, and it is no good. And quite honestly, with Georgia declining, that probably should have gone for it, but took the chance. So Georgia's going to take over on their own 25-yard line. And we'll move the yard marker up here, start the drive. And again, Bulldogs -1. They need a 35 or better. And they get a 34, so Georgia's going to have to punt. Roll of 20, and that's going to be 3 plays, negative 2d6. So 3 and out after a minus 8-yard result. So that kicks it all the way back to the 17-yard line, and Georgia's going to have to punt. So some fierce battling in the trenches here early in this one in the midway through the second quarter, and Georgia's punt team is a D. A roll of 6, and that's going to be a 35-yard punt. Fielded at the 48-yard line, and on the return, D punt return for the Black Knights, roll of 6, and that is going to be a 6-yard return. So they're into plus territory. Down to the Georgia 46, and because they start the drive in plus territory, we're going to jump right into play-by-play mode, and second time that the Black Knights have been able to start in Georgia territory. Let's see if Blanchard and Davis finally get their hands on the football here. First down. And this has been a run-heavy game, as you would expect with these teams thus far. Roll of 4. Of course, it will be a run. And roll of 12. Finally, Glenn Davis is going to get a touch. So 23 for Army, and 23 on the line control is a 1-star result. Roll of 5. And that's going to be a 3-yard gain for Glenn Davis. So second down and 7 from the 43-yard line of the Bulldogs. Neither team showing too much confidence in their passing game thus far. It's going to be yet another run play. And once again, it will be Glenn Davis on the carry. So roll of 24 for Army. That is going to be another 1-star result. And 9, that's going to be a big play broken off by Glenn Davis. So we'll roll again for that. Going to the Army big play chart. And 1, that is going to be a 28-yard scamper by Davis. So that's going to be all the way down to the 15, first and 10. So Mr. Inside and Mr. Outside, specifically in this case, going to work. First and 10. And of course, Army sticking on the ground at 25. That's going to be another 1-star result. And ball carrier here is Davis. Once again, they're riding the hot hand. Roll of 6, and that's going to be a 6-yard gain for Mr. Outside. Second down and 4. Gets it down to the 9-yard line. Sticking on the ground and sticking with Davis. They are riding him. 21. That is going to be yet another 1-star result. Roll of 2. And it's going to be another 6-yard gain. So it's going to be first and goal at the 3 now. So Army attacking this Georgia defense. Let's see if they can punch it in. 44 will have a possible penalty. And first and goal, it is still barely going to be a run. A pass there would have been kind of odd. And finally, Blanchard gets a touch. So his first carry of the day. And 44 is going to go off of the neutral column. No adjustment there. And 7 on neutral. That will likely be a touchdown. It is 5, so that's a 3-yard touchdown run. 7 or less, though, possible penalty. And 8, no penalty. And Blanchard puts it in. And Army goes back in the lead here in the second quarter. We'll try the extra point. 86 or less, and that one is good. So Army takes a 13-7 lead over the Georgia Bulldogs. As Blanchard gets a touchdown, and Georgia is set to receive the kickoff. This will be Georgia's last drive of the first half, and Army will get one more. Again, 9 possessions for each team for this game. So up to kickoff, no penalty on the kickoff, and Army with the a 3, and they are a B on kickoff. Or C on kickoff, sorry. 6, that is going to get down to the goal line. Georgia on the return. 2B, and that's going to be a 22-yard return. That's where the Bulldogs will take over. Let's switch this up here. All right, 22 yards and simulated portion of the drive for Georgia. They need 35 or better. 94, and that is not good. That's going to be another potential interception. So Ballou struggling, and a 3, that's going to be 4 plays for 16 yards. So at the 38, and again, only a 20 will save him, and that is picked off. So on the return, Army. And a 9 on the interception return. That is another big return. I'm sorry, I got to go off the interception chart here first. 9 goes to the team-specific interception return chart. There's a master 1 on the game board, and then 5 and a 9, you go to the team-specific, which is here. Roll of 3 on the team-specific, and that is going to be no return. But once again, in plus territory for the Black Knights, they're going to take over 1st and 10 on the Georgia 38. And this will be the final drive of the first half, and Georgia shooting themselves in the foot. 2 turnovers. They have given Army short fields on 3 of their 5 drives, and they can get in a deep hole here if they do not rise up and stop the Black Knights on this drive. Again, in plus territory, we go straight to play-by-play, and of course it's going to be a run play. 2, and Blanchard will be the ball carrier, 43, which again we look here. It's going to be a stalemate result, and a roll of 0 on the stalemate column is going to be a 5-yard gain for Blanchard. So down to the 33, 2nd down and 5. Shocker, they're still running the ball, and it's going to be Blanchard again. So they pounded Davis last drive. They're going to Blanchard this drive. 41 will again be stalemate and a roll of 6. And that's going to be a 3-yard gain. So down to the 30, make it a 3rd and 2. There's Army racking up the yards on the ground, 3rd and 2, and stacking the boxes, Georgia, and it's going to be a 13, which would have been great. Still good. It puts it to a 1-star result, as again, expecting the run moves from 2-star to 1-star or shifts at 1 column towards the defense. The ball carrier, once again, will be Blanchard, and that's going to be a 9-yard gain. Blanchard busting up the middle, 1st down and 10 at the 21-yard line now. And the bruising Army backfield taking advantage of this Georgia defense, and they just keep coming at them. 31, that will be a stalemate result. Blanchard the ball carrier, roll of 6. And again, no adjustment for Blanchard. That's a 3-yard gain. Gets it down to the 18, 2nd down and 7. All right, 2nd down, and once again, sticking on the ground. They love to run the ball. Potential penalty, however. 55, that's going to be a defensive plus, and roll of 4, ball carrier. On this is going to be Cabot. So 4, you go to the the defensive +1, Georgia here, a roll of 7, and that is going to be a 1-yard gain. And 7 or less is a penalty. There is no penalty, so Cabot gets a single yard. Down to the 17, that's going to bring up a 3rd and 6. So this is a situation Army does not like to be in. And they still run the ball a lot here, and that's what they're going to stick to in this case. 25, and that's going to be a 2-star result, actually 6. That's going to be a 6-yard carry, and that is going to prompt a measurement. Ball carrier on this 17 is going to be Cabot once again. All right, the way the measurement works, it is basically too close to call. So on the measurement, and that's an optional rule, by the way, and it comes up whenever you get exact yardage on 3rd or 4th down. So what happens here, you roll a D20 against the defense's drive defense rating here, which is a 10. So 10 or less, it's going to be short. 11 or more, they got it. And 3, it's going to be just short. So 4th down and a single yard. And Army is definitely going to go for it. Once again, Georgia stacking the box, hoping for a big play. 26. And that's going to be in the stalemate column. The ball carrier. I don't know why I keep doing that. Ball carrier once again will be Blanchard. 4, and that should get it done. He pounds ahead for 6 yards, and that is a decisive 1st down. So 1st and goal from the 5 as Georgia continues, again, shooting themselves in the foot. And Army's going to try a pass here, a 9 on the play call. It'll be a long pass. And I've already explained I do not change this due to the fact that it's harder to complete a long pass. And when this happens in the red zone, the field is condensed. And I talk about that too in the 3 modes of play tutorial, so I won't harp on that any further here. All right, so 41, and Georgia, or Army, I'm sorry, is terrible pass. That's going to come off the Georgia defensive plus column. And a roll of 0, long pass, and that is going to be incomplete. So could have been worse for the Black Knights. Going to be 2nd down and 5. 2nd down and goal from the 5. And this time they go back to what they do best, run the ball, but Georgia is lying in wait. This is going to be a +2 off the Georgia defensive chart. And ball carrier on this is Stewart, and roll of 7, which again is a white D10 on the defensive ++. And that's still going to be a 3-yard gain, so they get it down to the 2. So Stewart still able to fight ahead for 3 yards, and that was the worst result you could get off that. So tough luck for Georgia. 3rd and 2, defense crowding the box, and this is going to go in Georgia's favor. Blanchard, the ball carrier, once again off the defensive ++. And Georgia having no luck. They're going to give up 3 yards, and that's going to be a touchdown as Blanchard does not care and carries 4 Bulldogs on his back into the end zone for the 3-yard touchdown run. And Georgia, you can see they have 3 stuff results and 2 other results that would have resulted in a short gain of a yard. But that's going to be Blanchard's 2nd touchdown run of the day. And first half is coming to a close. Extra points up and good. So Army with a big 2nd quarter, taking advantage of Georgia turnovers, takes a 20-7 lead into the break. And just looking at the numbers here, you can see Georgia's had a tough time getting their offense going. Army eating up clock, 28 plays, 149 total yards. And Georgia, 21 plays for only 85 yards. They're having a hard time getting anything at all going. But Georgia will get the 2nd half kickoff, and they have a chance to cut this to a 1-touchdown lead. And again, they'll get that extra drive in the 4th quarter as well, which could come in big and help them out a lot. So here comes a kickoff from Army, and that's going to be into the end zone. Touchback. Georgia comes out on their own 25-yard line. 2nd half, Georgia looking to string a drive together without a turnover. And 80, it's going to be a run, big play 2. 5. Who else but Herschel Walker, you see here, 10 or less. He's the ball carrier, and that is a 5. You can't see the dice, but trust me. All right, so big play 2. Again, you roll off this column here, and it's Walker. He's got a TD here he can get, and a few other really nice gains. So Walker breaks through the line, and 4, that's going to be a 25-yard gain. That gets it up to midfield. And the way you document that here, and actually we are still not into plus territory, so we'll get another simulated portion of the drive. So the way you document big plays, you'll put who the runner was, and this is important just because it carries over to the final stats. Mark a carry, Walker 25 yards, and you will see the total yardage change for Georgia over here on the rushing area once I hit enter. And they now have 61 yards on 10 carries, so that big play is added to the simulated portion. All right, and they get another simulated drive because they are not in plus territory, 74. And this is just going to be a normal successful drive roll of 14 and 14 on the D20. It's going to be 2 plays, 22 yards, and an automatic first down. So that gets it down to the 28-yard line. 1st and 10. And again, you can't see it on the drive chart, but there are certain results that have a plus at the end. That means you do not roll for a down and distance situation. It is just a first down, and you take it from there. And that's the case here. Georgia into play-by-play mode, putting a good-looking drive together, and oh boy, a questionable call, a pass call. It's going to be a short pass call on first down, and 64. It's going to come off the Army +2 column. 16, the intended receiver is Herschel Walker out of the backfield. So looking at Army, short pass +2 roll of 4, and that's still going to be a 5-yard gain, one of 3 or 4 positive results they have there. So Herschel Walker. And that's our first reception by either team in play-by-play mode, as this has been a very run-heavy game down to the 23, 2nd down and 5. 7 or less, and they go back to the ground, 21. That's going to be a good result for the Bulldogs. 1-star result, ball carrier is Walker. And 6 in the 1-star column is a 6-yard gain. That is a first down. So that gets it down to the 16, 1st and 10, Herschel Walker. Starting to heat up a little bit here in the second half as the Bulldogs look to climb back in this and cut it to a 6-point deficit. Another run play, another Walker run, and 33, possible penalty of course. 33 will be out of the stalemate column, and Herschel Walker gets a adjustment of +2 to whatever the result is. So 8 out of the stalemate column is 2. That's going to be a 4-yard run. We have to roll for the penalty, 8 or less, and it's going to be another penalty on the Bulldogs. So Georgia continues to shoot themselves in the foot. Roll of 4 on the penalty check. That is going to be a false start. So 1st and 15, that kicks it back to the 21-yard line. And the Bulldog fans not happy. It's going to be another run play, and this will be a positive result for the Bulldogs. So 14, you see that comes off the 2-star right here, 2-star column. And 9, I can tell you right now, is going to be a big play 1 result. Ball carrier once again is Walker. So Herschel from 21 yards out, can he take it to the house? Here is the roll, and 4. And 12 yards is all. So Herschel gets it down to the 9, though. That's good enough for a 1st and goal. And Walker will take that run. And again, big plays helping Georgia significantly on this drive. 1st and goal, and they're going to stick to the ground and cross it up, give Stewart the ball here. Roll of 5, and 41 comes out of the stalemate column. Stewart has no adjustment at all. So roll of 5, stalemate, and that is going to be a 6-yard gain. That's the best result you can get out of stalemate for the Bulldogs. Second and goal from the 3 now. And that gets Stewart into positive yardage territory. And second goal, and Georgia is going to try a long pass. I do not know what they are thinking here. 56, that's going to be defensive plus. Roll of 0, and we go to the Army. Long pass. It's going to be incomplete, possible sack. All right, so sack. We don't have an intended receiver, so we can use this for the sack check. Sacks for the Bulldogs, they are 1 to 8. No adjustment for Army, so that's just going to be incomplete. And that makes it third and goal from the 3. So probably not very wise there. And again, on an incomplete, you add incompletions here to adjust the final stats. 6, going to be a run play. 63, Army is laying in wait for this, and the ball carrier is going to be Young, and that's going to be 63 off the +2 category of Army. And roll of 9, that is most likely going to be a stuff. It is. So roll of 8 on the stuff, and that is going to be a 2-yard loss. So I'm not sure why they are giving the ball to Stewart. He's lost yardage twice now, and that's going to make it 4th down from the 5. And this will be a 19-yard field goal. Georgia is 0 to 90. They're going to kick it. That'll make it a 10-point game and puts them within striking distance. Kick is up and good. So the Bulldogs, after all that, come away with a field goal. That was a lengthy drive, both in terms of gameplay and video time. So they'll kick it off now. Again, each team 2 possessions in the 3rd quarter. Georgia's defense now needs to get to work as they tee it up. And C6, that is going to come down at the goal line, returned by Army. 3A on the kickoff return, and that's only going to be a 17-yard return, so Army's got some work to do as they take over on their own 17-yard line, their first drive of the second half. And of course, they are going to run the ball, and they are going to give it to Blanchard, 13, and 13 is going to be a 2-star result for Blanchard. Roll of 4, and that's a 9-yard gain up to the 26-yard line. So the Black Knights just hammering the Bulldogs offense or defensive line. And again, I know these are neutralized teams. I know they would not do this in real life. Second one, that's why you play the game. It is a game. So it's going to be another run play, and 56. This time it's going to be on the defensive plus category. Once again, Blanchard is the ball carrier. So we go over to Georgia, roll of 0, and that is the worst. Georgia has gotten terrible rolls. That's a 6-yard result. Easily the worst result you can get there. Oh, and you know what? I totally screwed this up. I'm just so used to being in play-by-play mode. So we're going to start this completely over. I should have rolled for the drive. Sorry about that. Meltdown, we're not in full play-by-play mode. 79 on the drive, and for Army, that is going to be, well, that actually works out better for them. That's going to be a big play run 1, or big play run 2. And ball carrier on that is going to be Womack. So we will mark that here. And go to the Army, big play 2 chart, roll of 8. Womack, 34 yards, shreds the Bulldog defense. So that's going to get into plus territory. So now we'll get into play-by-play. On that 34-yard scamper. And Georgia needs a stop here. And run play 54, that is going to bode well for the Bulldogs as long as they do not get that bad result again. Stewart's going to be the ball carrier, and 2 on the defensive +1 chart. That's going to be a 3-yard gain. So 2nd down and 7 from the 46. I have a feeling Army is just going to keep pounding it on the ground. 41, that comes out of the stalemate column. Ball carrier is Blanchard, and again, Blanchard, no adjustment at all. Roll of 6 on the stalemate column, 3-yard gain. So 3rd down and 4, and they're just content to chew up the clock here. Georgia will get, each team will get one more drive in the 3rd quarter after this. And they're going to run at 66, possible penalty, bad news all the way around. It's also a defensive +2 result. And that is still, Georgia again cannot buy a break on these rolls. It's going to be a 3-yard gain. It'll be short, but let's see if they there's a penalty on the play. 8, and Army's 1-7. They just missed it. So that's going to be a 4th and 1. And they're going to, again, Blanchard, the ball carrier there. I'm sorry, Davis, the ball carrier there. And they're going to play it safe with a lead. They're going to punt and try and pin Georgia back deep in their territory. And Army's punt team is a B. And B0, and that is going to be a booming 42-yard punt into the end zone. Just couldn't down it there, and so Army catches a break, or Georgia catches a break there, I should say. And that's the 2nd punt of the game. So Georgia, ball comes out to the 20, and they will start their last drive of the 3rd quarter. 35 or better, and they are going to get stuffed. 2 on the D20. That's going to be 4 plays, 10 yards, and that is going to be another punt. No, that's only their 2nd punt, and the punts are not what's killing them. It's the fact they can't take care of the ball. So Army's going to get one more chance here in the 3rd quarter to extend their lead. And this is not good. 98, again, on when you roll on a 9, it's a possible block. So 9 for Georgia's punt is going to be a 48-yard punt. So it's a great punt if they avoid the block. And if they would roll to 99, you see, actually Army does not have any blocks, so they got away with that. So they managed to get out of this in good shape, and that flips the field over a little bit for them as that's fielded on the 22-yard line. And roll of 8 on the punt return D. And 8D is going to be no return, so that's where Army takes over on their own 22. Final drive of the 3rd quarter. And 38, and barely a successful drive for Army, and that's going to be 8 plays, 72 yards. They just take it to Georgia on this one. So that's going to be all the way down to the 6, and that is as good a drive as you can get. 8 plays, 72 yards. And down and distance situation, a roll of 9. Georgia's defense, of course, is a 10. And it's going to make it 2nd down and 6. So 2nd down and 6. from the 6. So technically second and goal from the 6, I guess. All right, so we will jump into play-by-play mode. Second goal from the 6, Army. And of course, they keep it on the ground. You see on first and second down, they are a 90% run team. And 53, that's going to be a defensive plus. That hasn't been kind to Georgia at all. So roll of 5 on that. That's only going to be a 2-yard gain. It's going to make it third and goal from the 4. And ball carrier on that is going to be Cabot. So, oops. Army looking for a third down conversion. If not, they will definitely settle for a field goal here. And third and 3 to 5, they're actually going to try a short pass, 52. And that's going to be a defensive plus. Army is not a passing team. So going off short pass ++2, that's going to be incomplete, which we will mark here. So Waterhouse incomplete there, and that's going to make it fourth down and goal to go from the 4. Field goal team comes in. This is going to be a 21-yard field goal, 0-79. Kick is up and good. And so Army put together a great drive. They just couldn't close it off. However, that field goal puts it back up to a 13-point lead. And this will be the end of the third quarter. So going into the fourth quarter, Georgia needs to make a comeback. They get 3 drives here. And 5 on the kickoff by the Black Knights. That's going to take it down to the goal line and return for Georgia. 6B on the return, 18 yards. And they start their first drive of the fourth quarter on their own 18. And they need to score on this drive. There is no doubt about that to stay in the game. 51 is going to be a successful drive. So from the 18, roll of 10. And that's going to be 7 plays, 55 yards. Easily their best simulated drive of the game. Gets it down to the Georgia 27. Roll of 11 on the down and distance. Army's defense is an 11. And that's going to make it 3rd and 4. So down and distance 3rd and 4 from the 27. Georgia. Playbook is open to them here. It can be a pass or a run, and they're actually going to try a long pass. That probably does not behoove them as Ballou. Not extremely gifted there. 56. So 56, that is going to go to the Army defensive 1 chart long pass, roll of 1. And unbelievably, 4 good results there from the Black Knights. It's a 17-yard completion. And receiver on that is going to be Arnold. So Arnold, 17 yards, and that is a huge completion for Buck Ballou. And that puts the ball down at the 10-yard line, 1st and goal, and that was a big play that Georgia needed to stay in this game. So 1st and goal from the 10. Let's see if they get sensible, go back to the ground. They do indeed, and 64, though, Army stacking to take away that run. 64 is going to come off of Army's card, a 1. And that is going to be a 1-yard gain. Ball carrier there is going to be Walker. So they are stacking to stop Herschel. 2nd down and goal from the 9. Blue brings the team up, and they're going to stick on the ground. This time a much better result, 14. That's going to come off the plus, or the 2-star column. Walker once again the ball carrier with a 4. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. So it gets it down to the 3, and it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 3. It's Herschel Walker. He is going to be closing in on a 100-yard game here. 3rd and goal from the 3. Again, that's in tweener territory, so no advantage or disadvantage on these rolls. Let's see what the Bulldogs do. They're going to be smart. Keep it on the ground. 22 possible penalty. That's not good. 1-star result, roll of 8, and roll of 8, 1-star. That's a 5-yard gain, and the ball carrier there is going to be blue. Let's see if there is a penalty, though. 8 or less. No penalty. So Buck Bellew keeps it himself and powers ahead for the 1st down. Actually powers in, I should say, for the touchdown. That'll be a 3-yard gain. And Bellew, it's going to be his 2nd touchdown on the ground, so he's taking the glory away from Walker running the ball there. Extra point time, and kick is up and good, and Georgia has crawled back into this and cut it to a 6-point deficit. And now they're going to kick off, and Army looking to look to cement this game away. 23-17, Georgia the kick. And kickoff C, it's going to be a touchback. Ball comes out to the 25, and that's where the Black Knights will start their next drive. Army gets one more drive out of this. Georgia would really like a stop. Less than 30 to get that. They get it done. 15. Big stop for the Georgia Bulldog defense, and that's going to be a 3-and-out. No yardage gained. They just crowd the line of scrimmage, dare Army to throw. Army tries to run it down their throats, and they are going to be forced to punt for the 3rd time today. So Georgia now can tie this, and if they are successful, each team will have 1 drive after that. So double O's on the punt. And again, Army's punt team is a B. So B, 42 yards. Going to be down to the 33-yard line, and that's going to be fielded there, and the return is 0. It's going to go to the team punt return chart, and you see on the team chart, Georgia, they have a TD there actually. Anything but a 1 is going to be good for them. That'll be a 7-yard return, so that gets it up to the 40. Georgia in great position to tie this game up if they can put together a drive. Georgia's drive result, they got to be 35 or better, and they get stuffed as well. Army, and that's going to be another negative. So 2d6, negative 3 plays, negative 5 yards. So figure a sack in there, and that puts Georgia in a rough position. Each team will have 1 drive now. Army can salt the game away with a touchdown. Georgia, well, actually, there's still an optional onside rule, so it's not over yet, but Georgia can definitely make it tough for Army if they get a touchdown here, or Army make it tough for Georgia. So 9 on the punt by Georgia, and again, Georgia's punt team is a D. 9D, and they're getting close. That's a 48-yarder. Luckily, Army does not have a block. It's all the way down to the 17-yard line, and the return on that for the Black Knights, punt return D. So 60 on the return, and that's going to be a 6-yard return up to the 23-yard line, and Army will come out and look to put this game away with a good drive here. Georgia's defense back on the field. The last drive of the game for the Black Knights, 64. That's going to be a successful drive, and 18 from the 23 on the 2D20. It's going to be 5 plays, 46 yards. All the way down to the 31-yard line, down and distance situation, 6 against a 10 defense. And it's going to be 2nd down and 8 from there. So jump into play-by-play mode, and this is going to be huge for Georgia. They need the stop. Army trying to put this game away. Obviously, they are going to stick to the ground game. First down 8, and ball carrier here 16 is going to be Stewart. And 41, that will come out of the neutral category. Stewart is a +1, roll of 8, and that is going to be a 7-yard gain for Stewart. So that makes it 3rd down and 1 as Stewart puts Army in a great position. 3rd and 1, this could be the ball game. Georgia crowding the line of scrimmage, and of course they are going to run the ball. 54 with that, Georgia expecting the run, kicks it into the defensive +2. Let's see if Georgia can finally get a good result here, and they do not. They give up 4 yards. Their run defense is a little lackluster. And ball carrier there is going to be Rowan. So Rowan, a big 4-yard run. Resets the sticks for Army at the 20, 1st down and 10. And they're creeping. They're on field goal range already. And they're just going to stick to the ground. This will be an unfortunate result, though, for Army. And again, we go to Georgia. Defensive ++, but that has not meant much in this one. This time they do, however, hold the ball carrier to a 2-yard gain, and that's once again Rowan. So let's see if Army goes back to the big dogs here. 2nd down, and 2nd down sticking on the ground. 65, it's going to be another ++ and 4 this time, and Georgia just misses a stuff. That would have been huge. Instead, it's going to be a 2-yard gain for Blanchard. And once again, we are in a critical situation. 3rd and 6. And Army likely to run here. Roll of 6, and 3rd and 6, they do indeed try and run. This would have been a defense ++. Again, Georgia expecting a pass makes it a defense single plus. Still, good opportunity for the Bulldogs, and they yield a 3-yard gain. So that's going to come up short at the 13, going to be 4th down and 3. And ball carrier there is going to be Stewart. And it's a 6-point game, but a field goal here will make it tough. Georgia will have to score and get an onside kick, and we will explain that if we get to it. So this will be a 30-yard field goal, and it's 0-42. Kick is up, and no good, and a blown opportunity for the Black Knights. So Georgia now, they can actually go down and win the game with a touchdown and extra point. And they will be starting from the 20. Ball goes up to the 20, of course, if the field goal is missed inside the 20. So this is the ball game, folks. And again, there's an optional rule if this drive is not successful. So we'll cross that bridge if we come to it. Georgia right now is just hoping for 35 or better. And the dice come up kind. That's going to be a successful drive. And 9 from the 20. It's going to be 5 plays and 40 yards. Huge drive for the Bulldogs. Gets it down to the Army 40, and down and distance situation 6-11 is going to be 2nd down and 10. So that's not ideal, but it could be worse. So 2nd down and 10 as we jump into play-by-play mode for the final drive of the game. Either way, it's going to be the final drive of the game, and we're close enough for a Hail Mary if that comes up too. So Georgia now is not in 2-minute mode yet. 2-minute mode comes into play only on the extra drive bonus. I'm sorry, actually they are in 2-minute mode. This is the last drive of the game. Ignore me, I do know the rules to my own game. So 0-4, still 0-4 is a run for Georgia. They're going to start out on the ground. And roll of 42. It's going to be in the stalemate column, and the ball carrier is Walker. Of course, he gets a +2. So 4 in the stalemate category is a 3-yard gain. Add 2 for Walker's adjustment. It's going to make it 3rd down and 5. So 3rd and 5 here, and again we are in 2-minute mode. And they're going to try and catch Army sleeping, and they may have done it. 15, that's going to be a 2-star column result. Ball carrier is Walker. And 7 on the 2-star, 7-yard gain, Herschel Walker down to the 28-yard line, and that is a huge first down for the Georgia Bulldogs. I actually owe Walker 2 carries here, so 5 and 7. Again, out of the 2-minute column, and they're content to stay on the ground. This will be a 1-star result, and once again, Herschel Walker, the bell cow, getting the ball. Roll of 8 in the 1-star column, and 8 is going to be a 2-yard gain, and Georgia might want to look at throwing this ball or putting the ball in the air here, as Army's expecting them to give it to Walker. 2nd and 8 from the 26, 2-minute drive still, and once again, possible penalty 2, and it is a defensive plus result. So 6 on the Army plus chart, that's going to be a stuff. Pretty sure they will decline that penalty, and the 5 on the stuff roll is going to be -3, and 16, the ball carrier there is Norris. Did we have a penalty? We did. Oh, shoot. Defensive penalty. 20. Okay, hold on. That changes everything. Let's see what the penalty is. And 10 on the defensive penalty. It's going to be offsides. So they will definitely take that. Make it 2nd down and 3. And Norris, that's why he was caught in the hole. Army jumped it. And a big break for the Bulldogs. 2nd down and 3. Still in 2-minute mode and still running the ball, and it's going to be a +2 result. Walker once again the ball carrier in the 2-star column. Roll of 7, and that's going to be another 7-yard gain for Walker down to the 14. 1st and 10, Bulldogs. Clock is running, but they are threatening here late in the game, and they're going to make sure that Army has no time left. All right, sticking to the ball on the ground. 41, stalemate column, and this time it is Ballou that's the ball carrier. That's not good for the Bulldogs. And 5 in the stalemate is a 6-yard gain, but Ballou's going to take 3 of that away. So 3-yard gain down to the 11, 2nd down and 7. Still in 2-minute mode, and finally, we're going to get a short pass attempt. 22, possible penalty, though. So 22 on the pass is going to be a +1 result. Roll of 7 for Georgia. And short pass, that's incomplete. And do we have a penalty? We do not. So 3rd down and 7, and this could be the ball game. Blue up to the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be another short pass attempt. 25, and 25 is going to be in the stalemate column. Roll of 5. Can the Bulldogs keep it going? Incomplete, possible sack. And again, for the sack, it has got to be 8 or less, and Blue is going to be sacked. And that's going to be a 10-yard loss. So Buck Ballou and that's going to make it 4th down and 17, and we're going to get to see a Hail Mary now. So this is it. One last chance for the Georgia Bulldogs. The way the Hail Mary works, I'll show you the chart. You roll the D20 and then the 2D10. The D20 will tell you how many yards the ball travels, and here we're at the 21-yard line, so it's going to cover the distance needed there. Obviously, Army's going to be expecting this, which is why it's going to be tough to complete. The 2D10s, depending on how many yards, will give you the opportunity to see if it is caught or not. So here we go. Last play of the game. Hail Mary, Georgia Bulldogs trying for a miracle win, trailing 23-17 to the 1945 Army Black Knights. The tandem of Doc Blanchard and Glenn Davis, Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside. Here we go. First, we will see how many yards it travels. And 16 is going to be a 50-yard pass. Again, we only need 20. More importantly, though, 0 to 10 for the catch. 0 to 10 for the catch. It is up 93, and that is going to be picked off in the end zone. And that is the third interception of the day for Buck Bellew. I want to give him credit for all three of those. So that is your ball game, and Georgia unable to take care of the ball. 3 interceptions, and Buck Bellew can be basically handed this loss or given responsibility for this loss, even though on that Hail Mary it was a jump ball. But that is your ball game. So let's go do our stats now. So we'll jump over first of all to the visitor stat tab for Army, and you see all the data has been transported over here. Waterhouse, and again in play-by-play mode, Waterhouse tried one pass, it was incomplete, so all of the pass completions are coming off the simulated drive portion. So first thing we need to do, we've already filled in the running backs here. So we are going to 6 carries for 38 yards out of simulated mode for Blanchard, 6 for 50 for Davis, 2 for 13 for McWilliams, Stewart, 2 for 15, 2 for 9 for Cabot, and Rowan gets 2 for 13. So we are missing 2 carries for 38 yards to balance out, and those will go to our top ball carrier, which is Blanchard. So I'll give him 8 carries, 68 yards, and that figure. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, one thing I do have to fix. Hold on. I had the big play going to the wrong area there, so let's just do this. I'll fix that. And that's just on that column, so we'll put that down here. Because I already saw that this second area translated over correctly. So let's go back and fix the stats, and yeah, see, that made a big difference. So now we're going to take 34 yards away from Blanchard, and that puts him at 8 for 34. And I will definitely have to fix that on the spreadsheet, which thankfully the game is not released yet, so no big deal there. All right, and then on receiving, 1 for 14 for Foldberg, 1 for 10. And we're missing, you see, the other receivers, because they didn't have a high enough percentage to qualify. Then you will bump that extra reception up to the main receiver, give him 2 for 23. Zeros, we balance, and that is it for Georgia, or I'm sorry, Army, they're done. We'll go do Georgia now. So the big plays, we have to take that into account. So Herschel Walker, a big day, 13 for 78 yards, not including the big play. And then 1 for 25. Oops, so that's going to put him 14 carries for 103 yards. Next up, Bellew, 5 for 5. And number 3 on the list is Norris, 3 for 18. Womack got 3 for 12, but he got that big play as well, and his was for 34 yards. So that's going to give him 4 carries for 46. And then the final two, 1 for 3 and 1 for 4. Now we need to adjust one carry, and again, you start at the bottom. So the number 6 ball carrier, Rowan's not going to get any credit for the simulated portion. And then we've got to knock 12 yards off of Herschel up here. So we change that 14 to 91, and you see everything balances there for receptions. This was an old school football fan's dream. Both teams are running the ball. And again, we have an extra reception here, and that is going to go to the number 1 receiver for Georgia, Arnold. So he gets 2 catches for 36 yards. And that's it. So let's look at our final stats now. First of all, for the home, let's look at our total yardage. So you see here, again, what you would expect, a lot of the action on the ground. Both teams 49 carries, and they ran the ball well. Army 49 carries, 263 yards. Georgia 49, 255. Ground games in full effect. Army 6 carries or 6 pass attempts, 33 yards. Georgia 12 for 78. Total yardage, Army 55 plays, 296. Georgia 61, 333. And again, it was the turnovers that killed Georgia. Our visitor stat tab, the Black Knights. So Blanchard, total of 17, and it was distributed nicely for them in terms of running the ball. So you can see here, Blanchard, 17 carries for 72 yards. Davis, 11 carries, 96. He had a big day. And our touchdowns, of course, Blanchard won and Stewart won. And I missed a touchdown for Army. Oh, no, sorry, Blanchard 2, Stewart 1. So Blanchard 2 touchdowns, Stewart 1. And McWilliams, 2 carries, 13 yards. Stewart, 7 carries, 35 yards, a touchdown. Cabot, 5 for 18. Rowan, 7 for 29. And our receivers, Foldberg 2 for 23, Poole 1 for 10, and Waterhouse 3 for 6, 33 yards. Didn't need to throw the ball much. Georgia Bulldogs, final stats. Big day for Herschel Walker, the bell cow. 27 carries, 158 yards, but Buck Ballou stole both of those touchdowns when they were inside the 10. Ballou finished 9 for 5. Remember, a sack was in there. And he did score 2 touchdowns. However, Norris 5 for 40, Womack 4 for 46, Young 1 for 3, Stewart 3 for 3 receiving, Arnold 3 for 53, and Scott 1 for 21, Walker 1 for 4. And on the day, Buck Ballou 5 completions out of 12 attempts, 78 yards, and 3 very costly interceptions. So that's it, a full playthrough of Glory Days College Football using the Excel helper, guys. And big day for Army, a 23-17 upset of the Georgia Bulldogs. Again, due mostly to the fact that Georgia could not take care of the ball, and Army did. So there you have it. So questions, again, leave those in the comments. Please hit a thumbs up if you don't mind. And again, Glory Days Football coming to you hopefully this Friday or Saturday. And again, main focus for Joe is his health. So if he gets to it, great. If not, it will be released very soon. And again, it's all on Joe because health is number 1. So hope you enjoyed this. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming. Appreciate you all checking this out. Hope you have a great night. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.